The other team that I want to talk about, the Atlanta Falcons. Now, they're a tough team. They're playing well, but Desmond Ridder continues to put up like decent numbers, but then he throws key interceptions. So he's a letdown in real football. But he's getting these guys involved now. So Drake London, 9 receptions, 125 yards. There was concern early in the year. It's like, where's Drake? What's he doing? And then how about the tight end position? Jonnu Smith, 13.6. Kyle Pitts, 14.3. And you'll say, oh, that's not that many points. For the tight end position, it is. Both those guys were top 5 tight ends this week. Both of them at tight end. So that's huge. But I don't know what to make of Atlanta. Because is Ridder really going to be the guy? Do we really trust him? I don't think they trust him because they're not winning games with him down the stretch. And then can we really trust 2 starting tight ends as starting fantasy tight ends? What do you think, Harrison?
I don't know. Atlanta is a tough case because it seems like they have 2 of every position. They have 2 running backs. They have 2 tight ends. Which one do you start each week? Who knows? Desmond Ridder, I don't have a lot of faith in. I think we may see Taylor Heineke sooner rather than later, especially if he keeps making these key mistakes in games. But for fantasy, that's definitely my biggest fantasy shenanigan this week was how Kyle Pitts has performed the last 2 weeks. Because I have never been in on Kyle Pitts. I'm not a Kyle Pitts fan, never had him on my teams. And he was awful to start the year. And I was taking a little bit of a victory lap saying another year of Kyle Pitts letdown. However, the last 2 weeks are the 2 times when I have played Kyle Pitts in multiple weeks. And of course, that is when he has his touchdown and when he has his 7 reception games. That seems to only happen once a year. So it's like, come on, really? Kyle Pitts, who's been getting 4 points every week, now goes off for 17 the 1 week that I play him. That's my biggest fantasy shenanigans. I can't believe that I've gotten beat by Kyle Pitts out of all people.
Yep, that's what happens. But I've been playing Jonnu, and he's been pretty good. And we know he was good in Tennessee, but then he disappeared in New England. That was such a weird signing, and then they never used him. So he's reemerging. So I'm not totally shocked by it. We know that he can play. So
I mean, everyone disappears in New England these last few years, so that's not his fault.
And then out of the blue, Kendrick Bourne has a big game. Remember, he had a big game week 1, totally disappeared, and he popped up this past week. 10 receptions for Kendrick Bourne. I would still avoid him. I'm not counting on him by any means.